Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Today we have a third lecture on osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means the mechanism of regulation of solutes and water balance between the organism and its environment is called the osmoregulation. Here in this case, if water is present inside the cell or outside the environment, there is the regulation of water and solute concentration and change of water and solutes between the cells between these two environments, either intercellular or intracellular. The environment present either inside the cell or environment present outside the cell, they maintain the water and solute concentration. This is known as osmoregulation. Types of the environment in which different concentration we can observe. There are usually three types of environment. One is the hypertonic environment, second is the hypotonic environment, third is the isotonic environment. In a case of hypertonic environment, it is defined as if the extracellular environment is more concentrated as compared to the cell concentration. This is called the hypertonic environment. In this case, the concentration of solute is more. Hyper mean more, increase in the concentration. So in this case, the concentration is more as compared to the water. So exosmosis will be take place. Water will remove out from the cell, and in this case shrinkage of the cell will take place. More water will remove from the cell because there is a higher solutes are present outside the environment. In this case, shrinkage of the cell will occur. While in the hypotonic environment, where the salt concentrations are less as compared to the hypertonic environment, if the extracellular environment has a more dilute solution as compared to the cell concentration, this is called the hypotonic environment. In hypotonic environment, endosmosis take place. Water will enter inside the cell and cell solutions will become dilute and cell become turgid, or it may burst in the case of animal cell. In the third category of isotonic environment, iso means same. If the concentration of extracellular environment resembles to the internal solution of the cell, this is known as the isotonic environment. So in this case, there is a resemblance between the extracellular environment or inside the cell concentration. So no exosmosis or endosmosis will take place, no turgidity or no shrinkage of the cell take place, because these two environments are already in an homeostatic condition. Here we can see some diagram. Solution cell is placed in a three different solution: hypertonic environment, hypotonic environment, or in isotonic environment. In case of hypertonic environment, cell seems to be shrink because water molecules will move out from the cell. While in the case of hypotonic, there is the turgidity condition is seen. On the other hand, in the isotonic solution, the cell will show a normal structure. No water molecules will move out or no extra water molecules will enter into the cell. There is a equilibrium condition is present in this case. Here we will discuss in osmoregulation in the plants. Plants are usually categorized into three types on the basis of habitat and water availability. First is the hydrophytes, second mesophytes, and third one is the xerophytes. Those plants which are present in the habitat where water availability is more called the hydrophytes, and those plants where moderate supply of water is present, normal supply of water is present, and adopt according to that habitat, such plants are called mesophytes. While those plants which are present in a desert condition, where drastic condition can observe, such plants are called the xerophytes. Now we will study some of the characteristics. Hydrophytes are the plants grow in the aquatic habitats. Here examples are the hydrilla, water lily, and ulymbium. At least you can consider two examples must prepare. Some of the adaptations in the hydrophytes which we can observe is that the surface area of these plants is large because there is a regular supply of water, so that they can remove the water, transpire the water fast. There is extensive stomata are present. Number of stomata are increased, and there is no cuticle is present because they do not require to absorb the water. They do not require to retain the water because water is available all the time. In the case of mesophytes, the plants growing in a moderate habitats, examples are the rose plant, mango, and brassica. In this case, some of the adaptation we can also see that there is a sufficient supply of water. When the stomata will open, they will transpire the water, water vapors will be removed out from the cell, and then they carry on their process. While in the case of restricted supply of water, their stomata can close. In this way, they can retain the water and adopt such mesophytic condition. They have specially root system which is very well developed so that they can absorb water from the root hairs. Leaves are also present with cuticle so that they avoid extra transpiration, extra loss of waters. In the case of xerophytes, where plants are present in the dry habitat, example are Optunia, Cactus, Calatropis. In this case, we see that There is a small and thick leaves are present. Very small and thick leaves are present. Spines like structures are present. The number of stomata are very less, and thick waxy leathery cuticle is present. That cuticle prevents the loss of water and retain water inside this plant. Surface area of the leaf is very less, so hardly transpiration take place. Very negligible amount of water will be lost. Waxy cuticle is present. To adopt a such drastic condition, they have waxy cuticle so that they can survive in a tough condition. They have stomata are present, but on the lower surface, these stomata will exchange the gases and less water will be removed from the stomatas. They have special organs known as the succulent organs. During the rainy season, these stems stores water for use in the dry conditions. These succulent organs are the roots-like structures and they are present deep in the deserts so that water will be enter and plants will suck the waters. In this case, we have seen that osmoregulation will maintain in these plants. They will maintain the water concentration, solute concentration. Either these plants are present in a hydrophytic condition, mesophytic condition, or they are the xerophytes plants. In homeostatic environment, they maintain the water balance and this is known as the osmoregulation. Thank you students.